What was the scariest we need to leave, now gut feeling that you've ever experienced? I bartend at a small bar in town. It's not much, just a place people come to unwind after work, and most nights are completely normal. Years ago, I had a guy come in who immediately set off alarms in my head. He was big, missing a few fingers on one hand, and just off. He muttered to himself, sometimes loud enough that other customers could hear, saying things about hurting people, threatening others in a half-muttered, almost under their breath way. I tried to stay calm and professional, but I could feel the tension radiating off him. By the time the bar started winding down, it was clear he wasn't leaving voluntarily. He was hostile, pacing around, watching everyone, and muttering more. I decided to step in before it escalated. I told him firmly that he needed to leave. He didn't argue, at least not verbally, but there was something in the way he looked at me, this cold, piercing glare, that made my stomach drop. I called a cab for him just to get him out without creating a scene, and he left. The rest of the night was quiet, normal, and I almost let my guard down. After closing, I stayed behind to count the money. It was about an hour after everyone else had left. The bar was empty, lights dim, only the faint hum of the refrigeration units and the clinking of coins and bills on the counter. I was wrapping up the final count, mentally going over the night, thinking about heading home. Then it hit me, the gut feeling, the one that instantly tells you something is wrong, and staying in that place is a mistake. My hair stood on end, and my chest tightened. I froze, scanning the windows automatically, and there he was, standing on the corner outside, watching the bar. A ski mask covered most of his face, but the build and the posture gave him away immediately. My heart started hammering. Every instinct screamed at me to get out of there, to not even finish counting. I quietly grabbed my phone and slipped into the back door, careful not to make noise. He didn't move at first, just standing there like he knew I could see him. Then he shifted, and I could tell he was sizing up the situation. The air felt heavy, tense, like the world had narrowed down to just me and him. I dialed the cops while keeping my eyes on the window. I didn't hang up, making sure someone knew exactly where I was. The guy finally turned and took off, disappearing down the side street, but the fear didn't leave me. That gut feeling had been right. If I had lingered, even a minute longer, I have no doubt things could have gone badly. After that night, I stayed extra vigilant. The guy didn't forget me. He's become well known in town for trouble, and every now and then I hear stories about him causing problems elsewhere. I've had to adjust my routines, make sure someone is aware when I'm closing up, and always keep my phone in hand when walking out the door. Even years later, I can feel the tension from that night whenever I think about it. The way he stood on that corner, silent, watching, waiting. There was no one else around, just him and me, and for those few minutes, it was like the world had narrowed down to this one threat. That feeling, the absolute certainty that something was wrong, is one I'll never forget. The bar has security cameras now, partly because of that night, and the local cops know who he is. They keep tabs on him because incidents like that aren't isolated. It's a small town, and people talk. I've learned to trust that instinct, the gut feeling that screams leave now, before any other evidence shows itself. It's rare for me to be scared in my own workplace. I'm used to handling rowdy customers, late-night arguments, and the occasional theft. But that night was different. That night was about pure threat, the sense that someone had singled me out and was waiting, calculating, ready to act. It's not the kind of fear you shake off. It lingers, and it changes the way you think about safety, about vigilance, about trusting your instincts. I can't forget how quickly I moved, how fast my brain worked when the alarm went off in my gut. And I can't forget him, standing there in the dark, the ski mask hiding his face but not the intent in his posture. That night reinforced something I already suspected but never fully respected. The gut feeling is rarely wrong. I still bartend at that bar years later, but that night changed me. I make sure someone is always aware when I close. I double-check the windows, the parking lot, the alleyways. I carry my phone in my hand until I'm safely inside my car. And I never, ever ignore that instinct. That was the night I realized how quickly normal can turn dangerous, and how fragile the line between safety and threat really is. One wrong step, 1 second of hesitation, and things could have ended very differently.